Hello. Today I'm going to be doing some Halloween makeup. And I'm just going to get right into it. But before you try to do this, or if you want to do this, there are a couple things I want to recommend you do before you start. One, go to the bathroom. Two, blow your nose. Three, drink water. Make sure you have water nearby, and make sure that you have access to a straw because those things are going to be hard to do once you get this process started. I'm not going to do my full face of makeup that you see here. I am going to be doing just the mouth, so that you can see. I think that's where people get, um, they don't understand how to do that. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. Um, and I'm going to remove the headset real quick so I can put on my headband and we'll get started. Okay, so make sure I have this on right. I do. Okay, so the first thing I like to do, right, I'm wearing a bat onesie. The first thing I like to do is use toner. I want to make sure to protect my face as much as possible because this will stain your face a little bit and it will cause you to break out. So just a warning. I am using, let's see if I can get this to focus. I'm using this today. It's just my face toner. Okay. I think that is good. I'm really bad about removing my makeup a lot of the time, so I think I have some leftover makeup on there too. Yeah. Okay. Now, I like to use a face primer as well to help protect my face. Also a keynote, I'll show you this after I apply it. Also a keynote is that when I do the mouth, if your lips are chapped, you're gonna be able to tell. My lips are chapped right now. So when you have the makeup on, you'll be able to tell where your lips are and how chapped they are. So just be aware of that. Try to make sure your lips are moisturized thoroughly a few days before you do this. This was just kind of spur of the moment for me. So, oh, and this is just e.l.f. base primer. It's not the best stuff, but whatever. So what I use to do my makeup, I have been using it for years. Originally, I just did the generic Walmart brand stuff, but what I switched to and what I've been using for years, let me change the lighting. Let me see if that helps you guys see what I'm showing you. It's called Snazaroo. Okay. This is the brand I have used for years, and it is great quality. And a big reason why I've been using this for years is because if you are in high humidity areas, if you are going to be sweating a lot, anything like that, this stuff does not drip. It doesn't melt. Like, you'd have to do some pretty decent stuff to get this to fall off your face. So the colors I have that I usually use, some of these are pretty beat up because I've been using them for years and they're still good. I've got my white one. I have my red. My black is in a bag because I have smudged it so much. It is nasty. And I have yellow. The other colors I have green, purple, blue, and brown as well. And I got those for doing like bruises and stuff like that. I don't really use them very much. You need water to be able to use these. So I have a jar of water. I have some paintbrushes. So everything that I have is that makeup. I have just some simple paintbrushes for details. They're nothing special. They're just trash paintbrushes basically. And then whenever my eyeliner is coming to an end, like my liquid liner, I hang on to them for this season. I just have different kinds so that I can do some line work if I need to, and I just see which one works. And then I also get these makeup sponge packs. And then if you're gonna do a full face, I definitely recommend using glue for your eyebrows. I'm not going to do that today. If you do want to do that, go check out different videos on YouTube and they'll show you how to glue up your eyebrows. But I do use that. It also helps that I barely have any eyebrows anyway. All right, so let's get started. Oh, I also have a palette paintbrush um, or a palette for stuff if I need to mix any colors. For my teeth, I like to do a little bit of yellow on the edges to help define them a little bit. And so I'll mix that in the palette. I try not to mix it in the actual container because it can ruin it. I think I did that with my white. I have some yellow. I wish you could see this better. Has some yellow up in the corner. Anyway, all right, let's get started. So the first thing I like to do after I've done the toner and after I've done the primer is I like to outline my mouth. And I'll just use the black liquid liner and I'm gonna see which one of these work. This one's just a brush. See if that works. It does. That one works. I don't necessarily like this. This isn't ideal for me. This is like I usually just use these. I think that one's I'm gonna use this one. I don't necessarily like using these a lot of the time because they can leave pools in certain areas and it can be hard to work with, but it is good for just giving you a basic shape, and they do wipe off kind of easily so that you don't have to worry about it mixing in with your other makeup. So I think I'm going to move this mirror here real quick, see if I can't get it set up by the camera. I don't know how this is gonna work. Give me a second. Okay, I've got my mirror set up. Hopefully it'll stay in place. I'm not 100% sure, but we're gonna try. So instead of using the camera, I'll be using this mirror that I have right down here. I try to start like in the middle of my Cupid's bow so that I get a good line right there. One thing that you want to make sure is that if you want to put like a lip around your mouth, which I do a lot of the time, you want to make sure to leave that space. So we're not tracing the lip, we're just tracing the shape of the mouth. So now what I love the most about Halloween is that no matter what you're doing, it doesn't have to be perfect, because part of the fun of Halloween is that things are messed up. Things are not what they seem. And that's part of the joy of Halloween. You can have things messy and imperfect and it still works. So I'm not going to do this to the extent I usually do. Sometimes I'll go all the way up, like past where my headphone is, but because I'm wearing headphones, I'm not going to be as extensive. Yes, it's going to look like a mustache at first. Just part of the process. If you feel like you've messed up, like this line is super thick, don't worry about it. And I can never get my face symmetrical. See, that's curving up way up. This I haven't even started curving it. I'm so bad at getting it symmetrical. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Now we're gonna do the bottom part. And what I'm gonna do is I want to have some like stitches at the edge of the mouth just to make it look like I had it stitched close. So I'm gonna take it down a little bit farther. Like I said, doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical, like that's messy. And it's okay. See, I have the basic shape of the mouth. It's not perfect, I don't care. Okay. Now what I like to do next is trace the teeth, because trying to keep the white and the black separate can be a lot of work. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix some water in with my white. Um, so when you use this Snazaroo face paint, you want it to come out almost like a paste. So you're going to be mixing water with your face paint for a minute. Just be patient. If you put it on too soupy, don't put it on too soupy. If you do that, you're going to end up with some messy face paint. The reason why I'm able to get mine to separate out so much, my paint, is because I make sure that it's not watery and it's not going to leak into each other. Okay. You want it to be this soupy texture. Wish it would focus more, but that's the best you get. Too bad. Okay. I usually wipe off my brush a little bit. Still want to make sure there's a good amount on there. And you're going to start tracing your teeth. Okay. Where my lip line is, I try to make sure that my teeth aren't going to be crossing over that lip line because that's what makes it obvious that it's face paint. You know, you want it to look like it blends in. So where my lips are, I usually want to make sure that that stays just dark. So try to do that. And when you're doing the teeth, make sure you round the tops. I noticed that made a huge difference when I was doing my makeup, is rounding the tops of your teeth to where the gums, they would set in the gums, makes a huge difference. All right, let's get started here. I like to do the two front teeth first, and I just do straight lines. And I slowly delicately try to make that curve up there. You can make your teeth as big or small as you want. I like to go with mine small if I have the time. But I have issues right now. I can't be sitting like this for too long, so I'm just gonna go with bigger teeth. Okay. And however you want to space your teeth is up to you. And you know, if you are a perfectionist and you want this to be perfect the first time around in the perfect way, I can tell you right now, this isn't going to be a fun process for you. Just let go. This is tedious. This does take time. I like to bring my teeth down a lot of the time as far as I can, close to my lip line, where my mouth opens. I remember that was something I did a lot in the beginning, is making sure every single tooth was perfect. You don't need to. Okay, I'm going to finish up so you can see how I get into this back corner up here, because that does get a little hairy. But doing like my bottom teeth and probably the other side, I'll just skip over it. When you start to get in this back corner, you need to make your teeth smaller. The rest of it's going to be shadowed back there in that corner. I like to try to make sure the teeth are in between each other. And the reason why you don't really care if you messed up these teeth too bad is because you're going to go through all this. You're going to go in between and around these teeth with black. And that's where it gets dicey. I'm going to pause it real quick so I can do the other side like this. And then we'll go over how to do the bottom teeth. All right, I changed the lighting a little bit so that you guys can see the teeth better. Hopefully that's good. So I filled in both sides, and now I'm going to show you how to do the bottom. It's hard for me to talk while I'm doing it, so real quick. As you can see, I have a big lower lip. There's a shadow right here. I can go up all the way to my lip line, but I've noticed that if I do that, that shadow will come up when I have put those teeth in, and it just doesn't look good. So I try to keep it below that shadow line. as much as possible. And as you can see, I want to show you guys this right here. There's a big gap between these two teeth, and so I just put a little one right there. Nobody's teeth is perfect, right? All right, so let's get going on how I do the bottom here, and then we'll fill in with black in between all the teeth. Oh, I did want to say that for this part, if you do a line straight down where you want all your teeth first, that might help you kind of decide where you want all of these to go and how you want the placement. If you want to be more of a perfectionist, you can do that as well. You can actually do that for your whole mouth before you actually start drawing the teeth. You can do lines where you'll want the teeth and then fill them in. So I'll show that for you real quick. I'll do lines and then show you how we fill them in afterwards. All right. I think I want to sharpen that middle tooth there real quick. So if you get to this point and you want to do any last minute adjustments, you can. So that's what this should look like. It's going to be your teeth. I also did want to mention that while I was recording earlier, I realized something was missing. And while I paused and filled in some of these teeth, I went ahead and corrected that issue. I'll probably have some playing now, but I usually listen to music while I do this, and it makes everything go by a lot faster. I love listening to Halloween music while doing this process. It just makes it so much more fun. So I definitely highly recommend you do that. If you feel like this is tedious and too much and you hate it, put on some Halloween music, doll. You'll be all the happier for it, I promise. If you love doing this kind of stuff and you're really enjoying this, put on Halloween music. Okay. Getting out my black palette. It is an absolute horrendous, like it's stuck. I've used this so much over the years and it just gets nasty. Don't judge me. Okay, and now we're going to fill in the black in between. Okay, make sure you get your brush wet. Make sure you are being very generous with that water amount. I like to use the paintbrush and just do drips or drops at a time. I don't recommend running these under a faucet because you might stain your sink. So just do droplets at a time with your paintbrush, work with it. I'm just mixing in the water right now. Wonder if I can do this without dripping the water. I'm just mixing it in to get that paste. No, this isn't the best visual, but need to get that paste-like texture, especially with the black. You do not want this to be dripping because this is going in between your white teeth, and if you get it dripping between your white teeth, not going to look great, unfortunately. It's just not. Okay. All right, this is where it gets really tedious. I might be closer to my mirror than I was before, so you might have a hard time seeing, but This is really tedious. Um, let's see if I can turn this camera down a little bit more. There we go. Okay. This brush is not the quality I want it to be, making this a little bit difficult, but we're gonna run with it, guys. So what I like to do is I like to go around the gums, like I'm showing you now, first before anything else, because um, that's gonna be what takes the most time. You can fill in the middle of the mouth as soon as you're done. This is the most time consuming. I'll probably speed through this for you guys. All right, y'all. I have a few touch-ups I need to do, but you get the basic idea of how to fill that in. I'm going to go ahead and fill in this side, and then I'll come back on to do the center of my mouth. All right, guys. It's messy. It's not perfect, but we can go back and do touch-ups later. Let me show you how I do the mouth part. I like to try to outline all the teeth before I go in at the mouth. So let me finish that. Got all my teeth outlined. Now we're going to do the mouth. You do have to go inside your lip a little bit just to give you a warning so that it completes the full effect. And the paintbrush is going to feel weird against your mouth. Just to give you a bit of a warning. Not going to be this glossy. It'll dry out like everything else has. I'm going to go back in and just go over the spots that didn't take very well. Got that all filled in. I did the touch-ups as much as I felt like it. Didn't get to go too crazy. What we're going to do next is yellow the teeth a little bit because that's what makes it more realistic than anything else. This was something I had to learn just messing around with stuff. So grab the yellow and I'm gonna grab another small brush. Again, the same thing, just add lots of water. Typically what I like to do is mix the yellow in with some white. I'm gonna see if I can just do a very watery. I know I said don't let it be watery, but I'm gonna see if I can do like a semi-watery and just tint the white I already have on my face with that little bit of yellow. So let's see how that works. If not, I'll do my regular process. But let's take a look here. Let's try one of these bigger ones. Looks like it's working well. I don't think the lighting is picking up on it very well. So let's see. I think that red one picks up on it the most. So we'll leave it there for now. And I'm just gonna do this with all the teeth. Is yellow them out a little bit. And what I might actually do, I've never done this before, but I might take some of my brown and make them brown up at the very edges. Just to see what that'll do. Typically the farther back I get in my teeth, the more yellow I make them. Because I'm just imitating real life, right? I don't know if you can hear that. My cat is barging his way into my room and screaming. But like I was saying, farther back I get, the more yellow I like to make it. If you can hear my cat, don't worry about him. He's got food. The front door is open for him to get outside. He's just complaining because he wants to play. So you don't have to do this much yellow. I think it's actually showing up a little too much on the screen. It's not this yellow in natural lighting. Hi, kitten. Let's say hi to the cat real quick, guys. This is Raven. Yeah, he just wants to play. He just wants to attack. Now he's gonna start attacking my legs. I know it. Really doesn't take too much. This yellow is starting to get a little dark. Just add some more water. Do very gentle tapping. Tilt this down a little bit more. Like I said, the farther you get back, the more you kind of want this yellowing effect to happen, right? Okay. Okay, I think I like that. And I am gonna go in with the brown at the very edges of the teeth. I don't think I've ever used brown. I've used it a little bit. Um, and just do some very light shading. And I'll probably start at the back teeth. Yeah, this is not turning out light. Not light at all. Do some lighter tapping than I did with the yellow. That's too light. It's just a process of figuring out what works best, you know? You'll notice I'm just going on the like corner edge of the teeth to give it that like shadow work more than anything else. I don't know if I really like this. It's just not working the way I wanted it to. I don't know. You guys tell me if you like it, if you think it gives it any effect at all. It's really, this is just imitating real life, right? And the closest you can get it to, you know, teeth that you've seen, maybe, hopefully not seen, but teeth that are really just haven't been taken care of. The more realistic it's going to be for a monster. Since I started it, I'm just going to commit. And we'll see how it turns out at the end. I'll pause it here and show you what it looks like. And change the lighting. That's kind of how it turned out. And after this, I usually do a red around my lip area to give it that smile type effect you usually see. You don't have to do this if you like this the way it is. But I like to add that red because it's just creepy. It just gives that extra layer of like, ugh. And I like to do mine like a darker red. So I have plain red and then I have some black already mixed up there. And I like to do that darker color. Gives it it's a little bit more sinister, you know? So let's go ahead and do that. I do hate this part because the lip you do want it to be nice and I'm not very good at that. So, but let's go ahead and try this out, see if we can't get it to look nice today. This is too watery. And you can do this lip however you want to do it. If you want to stretch it all the way across, you're more than welcome to. I've done both. I've done it where it's just like here and then right here. I've also done it where it's all the way across. I haven't really decided what I like the most. Also done it where it's dipped at the Cupid's bow, and I don't think I've ever really liked that. I think it's just not truly authentic for an outstretched lip. And I do think I'm going to extend this almost all the way. I'm just not good at the pretty, like making this part look straight or natural or anything like that. I just can't get it there. I never have been able to do this part very well. know, something along these lines. Just do your best. And another part about this is that people are mostly going to see this hopefully when it's dark outside or in a dark lit area. And for them, it's going to look a lot better than it looks on me right now. Okay, and do the bottom part as well. I usually don't like to stretch the bottom part up too much, but I have this bulldog cheek effect right here, and so it helps to extend it out a little bit more for me for my face shape. Okay. There you have it. I'm gonna add on some quick. Oh, I don't think that's the one I want to use. I was gonna use the paintbrush and do with the face paint, the stitches and whatnot, but I've already washed the brush and all that stuff, and I don't want to do that again. So I'll show you real quick with the eyeliner what you can do with that. I like to make it like pink around this area to show that it's a little, maybe a little raw. And I can do that real quick here with the red paint. I just make my fingers a little wet and just tap it over this area to give it that raw effect. See that? Really simple. Just put some red on your fingers, smudge it. Right? You want to try to make sure it's not too dark. Okay. This looks a little too dark. So I'll dip it my fingers into the water I have over here, smudge them again. That's much better. And you just tap. And it gives this super raw effect. Look at that. That's gnarly, you know? You can do whatever you want with this. Like, that's why I love this kind of makeup so much, is because once you find something that you like and enjoy and it's just rough and raw, you can just roll with it, you know? And it's nothing too crazy. It's nothing too like technical. It's just whatever. I think that's pretty gnarly. I think that's pretty cool. In fact, I think the other side is a little too light. Darken that up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do after that is the real key with stitches I found out is to make the hole before you do the stitch. So I'll give you an example here. Okay. And I do recommend doing this with the face paint and not the eyeliner stick like I'm doing right now. I'm just doing it out of convenience. Now, what I have done in the past is I've actually taken, I've done the holes and then I've taken latex, I think it was, and I've put actual string. So I actually had protruding string in these areas, and it was really, people have had a hard time with that. I've done that on my neck too. Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. You can go even farther down. Make the holes bigger to give it that effect. Just make sure you space them far apart enough and make them curved, because it gives it that realistic dimension. So that curve is really what makes it more realistic than just doing it straight across. Okay, look at that. I'll do one farther down on this side. Nasty. Okay. Now you adjust the lighting. Okay. I'm gonna pause this real quick and I'm going to change the lighting to figure out the best option for showing you the full effect here. I know it's grainy, but this is the full effect. Okay. There you have it. For any other, I like to do my mouth first. However, key tip about doing the mouth first, if you are going to do white makeup around your mouth and you're going to do like a like ghost face or something like that, do not put the lip lining, this red, on until after you've done that white around your mouth. Because once it mixes, you're done. So do the white first, do the mouth first. Come in close to the edge of the mouth with white afterwards, and then very last, put this lip line on, okay? Very, very last step, okay? If you guys want me to do a full face, let me know. I can see if I can try to do that with my body issues. It's a little hard right now, but I can attempt to do that. This can take this takes hours. So, but at least you have the mouth now. You guys can play around with it. If you guys do attempt to do this, please send me pictures. Please send me pictures if you do this. I would love to see your guys' results. And here's mine. And maybe I'll go around the neighborhood and scare some people. I might as well take advantage of it while I have it. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know if you want anything else like this. Bye.